All right, everyone, we have to talk about the rash of attacks on Tesla vehicles and their owners around the country. Link in the description. They've switched to a new tactic which involves, I guess, interpretive dance or something like that. Hey, at least they're not burning cars or anything like that. So, it's a peaceful protest at the very least. Give them that. First, though, we have to talk briefly about Richard Chamberlain dying. Of course, he was the star of King Solomon's Mines, one of the greatest adventure movies ever made. This Lost City of Gold and things like that. Watched him as a kid. So rest in peace to Richard Chamberlain. Just thought I'd do that as an aside. Yeah, the cringe of Tesla takedown has increased. It's like here in Rutland, literally a few days ago, and you're recording yourself doing this, so that's dumb to begin with. And you're possibly committing a felony in the process, sticking like the Elon sticker, with him Sieg Heiling on the side of a Tesla. And I actually know the building here in Rutland, and I think I've seen this particular individual before, so I'll let the police know if I happen to see him in passing. And it is actually he, believe it or not. It's cringe. The idea, I mean, especially with the Cybertrucks, because I'll see people like they'll ram a golf cart into it or they'll kick it or something like that. You think that's going to do anything to a Cybertruck? Those things are heavily overbuilt for a reason. They're practically armored, so good luck even, denting it. That's number one. Number two, when you break down into, mob dancing outside of the Tesla dealership, that's not going to discourage anyone from buying a Tesla. And number three, at this point, the kind of people that are buying Teslas are not the sort of people that were buying them before. Before, it was mostly like urban hipsters, dudes with the man bun and shit like that who go to the cafe every evening. That was the average Tesla owner. Now, apparently, and these are electric vehicles. Supposedly now EVs are the provenance of people who wear suspenders and flannel shirts and duck hunting caps and stuff like that, and they mount their rifle in the back of their Tesla Cybertruck. The stereotype type has done a 180, in other words. It's massive cringe, though, to see a bunch of youths, of course, youths attacking Tesla vehicles. For what purpose? Because Elon Musk did from my heart to you, and under out of context circumstances, you can interpret that as a Nazi salute. That makes a lot of sense. Or the fact that he donated to the Donald Trump campaign. I think that we've probably hit upon it. Elon Musk, 10 years ago, was heralded as the man who was going to save civilization and prevent the planet from dying because of climate change. Now, all of a sudden, he's an evil villain. He's a Nazi. This makes no sense whatsoever. I don't even understand what these people at times are protesting. You don't own a Tesla, so you didn't like buy a vehicle and it was a lemon and it decided to crap out on you. Although I'm anti-EV myself, but I'm not anti-Tesla. At the very least, if you're going to get an electric vehicle, I suppose you might as well buy a quality product. I prefer gasoline-powered cars myself. I think that it's more practicable. I think that it makes more sense. I'm not worried about climate change. I don't see it as a bad thing or anything that we can necessarily do much about anyway. So I'm anti-EV. But you're not going to catch me, doing a disco dance out in front of the Tesla store, waving a sign that says Elon Musk is a Nazi evildoer or something like that, because that's just you look like a loser, man. You, you look bizarre. I'm sitting here dressed as a pirate at the moment, and I'm telling you that you look bizarre. There's a reason for them. Because when I go walking around dressed as a pirate, sometimes people confuse me with Jack Sparrow or they think I look cool. Other people look at me sideways a little bit, but that's fine. But if I were to start doing a protest disco dance or something like that, dressed totally normal, I would look 10 times more cringe to the average person. You're not winning anyone over. You're not really even getting your point across. And the whole X is a Nazi thing. This person is a Nazi because I feel them to be a Nazi. That's been aimed at every other content creator online. It's been aimed at me before. I've even been written up in several legacy media articles years ago about this, lumping me in with people who are actual Nazis in some cases. This far-right commentator, he's alt-right. He worships Hitler, which makes no sense because Hitler was a socialist, but whatever. Musk is not a Nazi. Tesla is an innocuous company, which was formerly praised by the same people that are now apparently doing interpretive dance in order to, protest the existence of the company itself. If I were in the market for a Tesla, this would not dissuade me from getting one. Suppose I'd get the Cybertruck because it just looks cool. And it's got that cool filtration system in it, which, like, in case of chemical attack or something like that, you turn it on, I guess, and your air will be purified and hopefully you don't die. Yeah, Cybertruck looks cool. I mean, it's futuristic looking. It looks like the kind of vehicle that kids from my era thought vehicles would look like, which is cool. And they work well. I mean, by EV standards, the Tesla's vehicles work fairly well. And you see them, by the way, electric vehicles much more commonly in Western Europe than you're going to see them in most parts of the United States. Maybe even in urban areas like New York City or Los Angeles or something, that's different. If you're in the super flat of the Netherlands, it makes more sense to put up charging stations if everything's local. Most people don't, they're not driving a long distance to any location because if they're staying inside of the country, it only takes a maximum of 2 hours to actually get there anyway. The Netherlands is a relatively small nation. Even if you're talking about the whole Benelux region, it's relatively flat and it's been developed for thousands of years. It's not the same as the United States. The United States is a baby when it comes to development, by the way. It has come a long way in a very short period of time, by the way. There's a reason for that. It's called the Homestead Act. But EVs, like, I wouldn't buy one, but I don't understand vandalizing other people's vehicles. It's like those vehicles are insured, So you're not hampering the owner. You're not hampering the company. They've already made their money. They've already sold the vehicle. The only person you're hampering is yourself when you end up in prison under felony charges. Interesting. That's about all. Peace out.